Well, this could be an awful lot of fun, especially if the walk-on's anything to go by. Ricardo Pietreczko not noticing his own fan in the crowd, who has lividly made his way to the back of Red's bar, no doubt. Might be cheering on Gary Anderson. He had plenty of cheers against Mario van den Behaarde yesterday. The first 6 darts were perfect from the Flying Scotsman. The ensuing 8 legs were decent, but we know that Gary still has more gears in him. Ricardo Pietreczko will feel like he's one of the unluckiest men on this complex, because he had to contend with a very buoyant army of Willie O'Connor fans yesterday, who were chanting hilarious tunes to the point that O'Connor was chuckling more than Dr. Hibbert up on stage. And now he's facing Gary Anderson, who is a native Scot, former Scotland World Cup winner, but the southwest of England is indeed his home now, so he doesn't have to travel too far to get to Minehead. He has won this tournament before, back in 2014, and he managed to do so without averaging less than 101 in any game. Can he rediscover those levels and go on towards glory, or will Ricardo Pietreczko bring a slight surprise here?
It's only the second meeting, and there's already a conference. Oh, it's another water gate. There you go. Never mind, might as well get it out of the way. He's seen a few upstarts in his time, and he's seen a few bits of controversy in his time, but let's get back to the darts, because yesterday Gary did start with a couple of maximums. And if I can pay him a rather strange compliment, it's one of the worst 97 averages I've ever seen. You know, some games you average 97 and you think, oh, I played well there. Well, Gary averaged 97 and didn't play anywhere near his best. 100. So what does that tell you?
Occasionally we do see the very best of Gary Anderson come out to play.
60.
Now, unfortunately, that seems these days to be more limited towards the floor tournaments. It was last year that he had his highest recorded average ever, 123 against Andrew Gilding.
And how often can you say that Gary has played 2 rounds of a Players' Championship finals at Minehead, and twice he's been on stage 2?
Gary, 121.
If he wins this game, he's not going to be on stage 2 tonight.
57.
Ross Smith or Luke the Nuke Littler away?
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that one, are we?
Thanks for the memories in 2025, Gary, but get through Pikachu and we'll see you tomorrow, potentially on the main stage, and tonight will definitely be the main stage. He's looking at tops for the first leg.
44.
He doesn't want to be messing around on the doubles like he did in the first leg yesterday. That left him a little bit peeved.
125, Gary, 20.
Double 10.
Showing the first leg.
There we have it. Gary Anderson with the first leg.
Well, that double 10 was so good, it caused the speakers to feed back.
Ricardo to throw first.
It's all going off here this afternoon.
We were talking yesterday about the fact that Pietreczko is a player that usually plays better when he goes up the steps as opposed to the floor, but his floor form this year has been good enough to get him here.
31.
One of Gary's old foes on the tour used to be like that. Kevin Painter, former champion in this tournament. Didn't like the floor, loved the stage.
125.
Loved it. That's the intricacy of the tournament, isn't it? You can't be in it unless you thrive on the floor.
41.
Dimitri Vandenberg won at Minehead in the UK Open a couple of years ago. Not here at Minehead for the Players' Championship finals.
100.
It is somewhat easier to get into the UK Open these days, because if you've got a tour card, you're automatically in. Used to be a time we had to qualify for it.
94. Ricardo, you
Wasn't that easy?
36.
Might be 16s here. 6 would have left. Double top.
96.
That's a nice squeeze by Ricardo to leave tops anywhere.
He is a fascinating player to watch, just to work out what he's going to do with the dart in hand.
40.
He's got all sorts of methods.
Gauge on the second leg.
That was more routine. Pietreczko levels this game up.
The last 2 letters of his surname are KO, and that's what he's looking to do to Gary. I think if you interviewed Ricardo about 5-6 years ago when he was gracing the European Tour for the first time,
100.
do you think you're going to get some battles against Gary Anderson in your career? He probably would have said no. Because there were times we thought that Gary was going to stop.
100.
I'd like to know exactly when it was he figured out, I'm going to push this again. Darts is a rare sport because you can reach levels that you've never reached before when you're older.
100.
It's not just one personal best he's set in the last couple of years, it's more than one. So the bursts are there. 6 to 11 legs. But maybe the reason he hasn't
100.
got another major under his belt in the last 2 or 3 seasons is because it's the sustained ability over
96.
7 sets, 9 sets or longer, or best of 31 darts. Is that where it gets to be a bit of a struggle for Gary, we wonder?
And that is where age comes into it.
It has to, unfortunately. But if we may say so, Dan, you don't have to play best of 31 legs in this tournament. You've got to get to 11.
Tops, tops. That was the aim.
85.
It's one of them.
76.
Never historically been a fan of double 10, Gary Anderson. May not matter. Pikachu looking at tops.
36.
He misses also, but the other side of the wire.
20.
If he's going to hit it second dart, he's better off missing it high right. Well, it was high enough, and it was right enough, and the third dart was good enough. Yeah, there's a possibility in the next round of Anderson versus Littler.
140.
And who wouldn't want to watch that game of darts? But it could be Ross Smith versus Pietreczko, which might indeed be a stage 2 game.
Could be Ross Smith, Gary Anderson, which would be a repeat of their Sindelfingen European
95.
Tour final from last year. What a madcap last leg that was.
I'm really glad you used that word, because madcap is exactly what's happening on the main stage. Littler's averaging 115, he's 5-2 up, and Ross Smith 108. I think some people forget that some of these great players have not won this tournament before, Littler being one of them. Gary has won this event 11 years ago. That was the precursor to a lot of what he did to cement what he's done as a legendary player. Has he got enough room for another? He didn't think so, so he went for that, and that's absolutely classic Pietreczko.
Gary to throw first.
He's one of those Central European players that really loves double 14, and that's a really smart 82 after the ball. We might not see a better finish on this board today than that.
100.
That's a vivid message to Gary, isn't it?
Everything about it, not just the thought process, but the execution as well.
97.
The way that Ricardo's darts sit in the board if he's going to have two bulls, he needs the first one to be in the bottom half of it, so in the southern hemisphere of the bull. The moment he hits the northern hemisphere of that bullseye, he's thinking plan B, which was 54.28. Most people would go 42 tops. But he has other ideas, which you've already mentioned, Dan.
32.
And that's something that can separate good players from great players. Great players have full mastery of the board.
140.
They know every equation, every sum.
You were saying?
Gary knows this sum. Oh, he knows it to some tune. 151 for Gary Anderson. 2 world-class checkouts in a row.
The 2 words that should follow that finish for the opponent are, oh no. You just hit him with a 1-3-2, and I somewhat foolishly said you might not see a better finish today. Well, all of a sudden, the Flying Scotsman is looking hungry.
57.
You got a favourite Gary Anderson finish in his career? The 170 in Newcastle against Van Gerwen sticks out when Michael was on a 9.
Yeah, well, I think the thing I liked most about that was he turned round, saluted the crowd, and came back the other way around Van Gerwen, almost like a little victory lap.
Well, he's not going to do a Wayne Mardle after hitting that 180 and go for a victory lap around Red's bot. But he is going to feel very happy about it.
$60.
He wouldn't mind another. Now what does he do? No.
96.
He hasn't got it right. His switch should have been 17s. If not, staying on the 20s with dart 2 and then switching afterwards.
81.
He's got away with it.
Ross Smith hasn't got away with it. He's lost 6-3 to Littler. So whoever wins this game
140.
is going to be on the main stage.
What a performance from the pair of them. Another game where Ross Smith has scored a high average, 102.5, and comes away with nothing. Ricardo Pietreczko may come away from nothing here because Gary Anderson is starting to go through the gears. That's 2 legs without reply, and with Ricardo not having a dart at double, his average has crept above a ton now.
And the finishing over the last 3 legs has been exemplary. As in, nothing's been missed.
96.
Gary missed more darts at double in his first leg yesterday than he's missed in this entire game. So something has clicked.
That first leg yesterday was just so typical of Gary Anderson. Leaves 1-4-1 after 6. Misses 5 darts at double, loses the leg.
Didn't do him any harm. Kicked him into gear. You and I both know, Dan, that when
100.
Gary's a little bit perturbed, he's a dangerous player. Don't give him extra motivation.
Don't poke the bear.
No. From any distance.
139.
Just mentioned that 170 of Gary at Newcastle. A 170 has been left. A 170 was hit on this stage yesterday.
It was hit by a losing player. Another one. Just 80 to the disappointment of Pikachu.
What does Gary do on 146?
81.
He's been leaving double 16 a lot more these days. This time, he does not use the 19s.
I have a feeling had he hit the first dart in treble 20, he'd have stayed for double 13.
Agreed. 100% agree. I think Ricardo knows how important this shot is. If he doesn't get it, he's staring at 5-2 down. Double 5.
79. Gary, you've got
This could be
51.
troublesome. What does Anderson want to leave today? Looks like double 16. Ah, he's going for tops.
31.
He didn't like that one whatsoever.
You require 10.
I'm going to stop predicting what these players are going to go for. Every time I try to predict it, I get it wrong.
Oh, double 1. Was that intentional?
You showing the
If it was genius.
We've seen 2 smatterings of brilliance in finishing. A key miss from Gary and a little bit of creativity from Pikachu. No, I'm with you. I think that was on purpose. And the 2 players that are trying to fool us with their finishing leaves,
81.
Searle and Anderson, practice partners. Maybe that's part of their plan this weekend.
They're hatching a plan to cause nightmares for the spotters and broadcasters.
It wouldn't be the first. Next on the main stage, it's Jan van Veen and Christopher Tysky. After this, we've got
60.
Justin Hood and Andrew Gilding. I was not pleased with that last start. Still in the lead. What could have been a big, big cushion for Gary
100.
is a game that really does require hard work now.
45.
We were talking about 2014 yesterday. He averaged 101 plus in every game. Is that his finest tournament win? Based on numbers alone. I mean, obviously his 2 world titles are going to be eclipsing that, but based on numbers, is that the best he's done?
I can't think of anything off the top of my head that does eclipse it.
Ricardo, you require 137.
They both got it. Ricardo's not going to take it. I get the feeling that Anderson, and I said I wouldn't do this, I think he's going to start on the 57 and try and leave 2 double tops.
37.
Hallelujah. He doesn't get the first one though,
107.
and that's the missing piece.
Ricardo, you require 40.
It's been a real interesting game of darts, and this is to level it up. Pikachu hits tops. 2 legs for him in response to the 2 from Gary.
107.
Well, that's gone rather well. Good start to leg number 9. Now, we couldn't have said that about Ricardo the last time they drew swords, because back in 2023 in Barnsley, Gary beat Ricardo in their only meeting by 6 legs to 0. Gary 107 plus on that occasion.
60.
It's not as if Pietreczko was playing him in the first round either. It was a last 16 match. Gary would ultimately lose in the quarterfinals in the next game to Michael Smith, averaging 109.
And that was only a couple of weeks before Ricardo went pop on the European Tour.
140.
So the memories of that game really didn't fester. Finishing has been superb from Pikachu in this game. 4 from 7. It's exactly what we expect from him.
58.
One of the best finishers in the world,
24.
not the biggest scorer. That's a formula he needs to try and crack.
60.
Gary can't leave double 12. He needs 2 trebles to get to a finish.
59. Gary,
I think Ricardo understands that he's going to need to win the last 2 legs of this contest now Double top.
44.
We're going to go back to double 10 again. You're right about Ricardo, though. The precursor to that win in Hildesheim 2 years ago was when he lost to Nando Mayor in Hungary, and he played awful. So he can bounce back. He's probably going to need to here. Same as before. 2 misses on the outside. Takes it with dart 3, and he needs 1 more to set up a heavyweight clash against the world #1 later on. And if everybody singing in Red's Bar right now wants to see Gary against Littler, they're not coming back to stage 2 later. The only reason that's a stage 2 game tonight is if hell freezes over.
If the main stage suddenly becomes unavailable.
Like 2018. And I don't think there's any snow forecast.
Well, by that logic, I'm praying for snow.
140.
Judging by 2018, I most definitely am not. Oh, this is a brilliant leg from Gary. Great players can do this. They see the finishing line and they just say, right, I've had enough of this. Give me 5 trebles out of 6 and I'll get rid of this kid.
$52. $105.
A Usain Bolt style sprint finish.
All that's missing from this very impressive essay is a full stop. And the 2 words known as the end.
140.
Having said that, someone's poised if he doesn't find it.
Has to be 25 bull. Oh, he's too accurate for his own good.
60.
How many times do you see that happen?
Too often.
83.
So he hasn't had a match dart. He's thrown 12 darts in this leg and is sitting on a match shot that might make no difference. You said he was one of the best finishers in the world. Let's find out if he can do it right now. What a shock. Pietreczko finishes well again. Now, the fact that Littler's in the next round, the narrative is Anderson versus Littler, fantastic. Pietreczko versus Littler, spicy meatball. If you've been watching on PDC TV for the last couple of years, you know exactly what we're talking about.
100.
Spicy meatball accompanied with the biggest chef's kiss you can imagine.
81.
Anything involving Littler is box office. You can't deny that, but against Anderson or Pietreczko for differing reasons, it's so good to watch.
60.
Can't be denied. But imagine if Gary doesn't win this game. The biggest start of the match was a bullseye that was hit.
97.
For a bad reason. But what about the single one before it?
$100.
Only a ton. And occasionally that lack of scoring power can leave Pietreczko a little bit exposed. 140 leaves single to double for Gary Anderson. Pietreczko has to find something big to apply the pressure.
Look on the bright side here. With 43 left, he'll go for 3 tops more often than not. But if he goes 19, he goes double 12. And this is the point where he'll probably go 11 double 16. So I'm hedging all my bets here.
You were right the last time. Double 8 for Gary Anderson. 2 match darts have been missed.
Now what does he do? Does he go the Cullen route on 142? Which is 6 19s for 28.
6 17s for tops. 6 20s for double 11.
Well, we lined it up so many different ways and he went his own way. Does Gary win
26. Gary.
Has Pietreczko got any outs left?
Double 4 to end a classic and to tee up a meeting with Luke Little, and Gary Anderson's missed 3 more doubles for the match. And Pietreczko will be ruining that horrid setup shot before. 116 is one of the makeable ones in this range, more makeable than most, but he should have been left on something way, way more presentable.
He scored 26 to leave 116. He gets a match start, but he's the one that can hit it.